Hey guys, so this is my first attempt at a video blog for my travels, doing Jiu-Jitsu in Phuket, Rome, and then eventually Rio. So I posted a couple of weeks ago asking if anyone would be keen to sort of know about the experiences I'm going to have, and a few of you guys said yeah, that'd be really great. So I'm going to pretty much try and post a blog maybe every week. That's my aim. I'm basically going to give a rundown of everything that's happened during the week rather than going day by day. If you're interested in everything that's going on, then just subscribe to my blog or my Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. I'm going to post those links for you guys, and I'll be posting photos throughout the day, and you can keep up with me, what I'm doing like that. This video blog is more just a general overview of what's going on. You guys can ask me questions. I can just pretty much tell you stuff about me, more personal sort of way of doing it. So a little bit about myself. My name's Jay. I'm nearly 26 years old. I'm from Wellington, New Zealand. I've just started a trip where I'm going to Phuket, where I am at now, for a month at Tiger Muay Thai. From there I'll be going to Rome in Italy for 6 nights, I think I'm there. And then after that I'm going on to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And I've got a visa for a year, but I'm aiming to stay a bit longer. I'm traveling with my partner, so we're just going to see how it goes, but hopefully be there as long as the Olympics, which I think is August 2016. So let's just start off with what I've been up to. I wanted to do a video vlog a bit sooner than this, but I've had to get my camera up and running, get settled in and everything like that. So we went from Wellington, New Zealand down to Christchurch. For those of you that don't know, Christchurch had a major earthquake about 4 years ago, and the city was pretty much demolished, so it was pretty eye-opening going back there and seeing the devastation of the buildings and how much is left still to rebuild. I mean, even 4 years on, it's pretty much almost a wasteland in the city. There's demolished buildings everywhere. There was waste drain water spewing up out of the sewers onto the street. But I mean, even with it like that, there was still a lot of really good stuff in the city, which I really enjoyed. One thing that happened to us was there's a bus that goes around the city. It's called the Orbiter, and for some reason we thought if we jumped on that it would take us to the city, but of course because it's called the Orbiter, all it does is just go round and round in a circle. So we sat on that bus for about 40 minutes before we realized we weren't actually going to go anywhere we wanted to go. So if you're in Christchurch and you want to use the buses, just be aware that the Orbiter doesn't actually go to the city. While we were in Christchurch, we had a really good lunch at a place called Espresso. So if you guys are into your coffee like I am, check this place out. It's pretty amazing. It's in quite an old sort of heritage building, which is still around even after the quake, which is pretty amazing. But yeah, really busy. Food was amazing. They roast all their own coffee there, which was really good. Bit of background about myself, I used to work for a coffee roastery for about 3 years, so I'm a bit of a coffee snob. But yeah, the coffee there was really, really great. So if you guys are in Christchurch, definitely go and check out C1 Espresso. The main thing that I thought was really amazing were they had these old school like vacuum tubing send things. I don't know what they're called, but you've seen them in the movies, I'm sure, where you put your mail in a pipe and it goes up and around to somewhere else in the building. So they have those that go from the kitchen and they drop down just to wherever near you're seated, and those deliver your curly fries, so you can get some really nice curly fries with ketchup on them or whatever you want. But that was pretty amazing. So that pretty much summed up our trip in Christchurch. We were there for 1 night before we flew out to Phuket. But yeah, if you're going to go to Christchurch, definitely check out C1 Espresso. Make sure you walk around and see how the city's getting on, and it's really, really eye-opening sort of thing to take in. So after that we went from Christchurch the next morning to Sydney Airport. We were there for 6 hours. Not very exciting at all. If you're getting a stopover in Sydney, just be aware that they're currently revamping the airport. So in the what's it called, like the departure lounge, you don't have to clear customs to go through there if you're doing a transfer, but they're currently doing a revamp, so there's not all the main seating has been taken away, but there's still plenty of food and shopping and everything like that. From there we departed on, came to Phuket. We got in at about 7:30 at night. thing that was pretty, I don't know, amazing to me was their customs standards. So, you hear a lot of stuff about Indonesia, Bali, places like Thailand, where there's some really, really stiff penalties for drugs. And even though there is that stiff penalty, I thought the customs would be quite high. They'd be scanning all the bags, there'd be drug dogs everywhere. But this wasn't the case at all. We grabbed our bags off the conveyor belt and pretty much walked straight out through the door. There was a little bit on the side that said if you had goods to declare, that they would look in your bag and scan it. But I mean, why would you do that if you can just walk straight out the door? So I mean, I'm not trying to say go to Thailand and smuggle drugs or anything like that. But yeah, that was just something that I thought was a bit strange. Phuket Airport, pretty small. All right, there's not a lot there. It's just a couple of levels. There's a subway. There's a bunch of little food places. It's not a great airport, to be completely honest with you. So if you're planning on leaving Phuket, I wouldn't recommend leaving early and thinking you can spend a lot of time at the airport quite easily, because there's just nothing there. SIM cards and all that sort of stuff, we thought about getting one in the airport, but there was only one place right when we got off the plane, but it's a bit of a waste of time. You can probably do a better deal somewhere else. We've been dealing with Tiger throughout our whole stay here, so we arranged an airport pickup with them. So as soon as we walked out the door, there was a guy with our names, grabbed our bags. I guess he was just a contracted taxi, but yeah, he was there on time, helped us with the bags and everything. Everything was really clear. That was great. So if you are planning to stay at Tiger or one of the camps around there, definitely I would suggest doing an airport pickup, and then that way you're paying your money, you're not going to get ripped off or anything like that. We arrived there, I would say, at about 8:30. So from Phuket Airport, when you're driving down to where all the camps are, they're on this one long street, which is where all the kickbox camps are, CrossFit, supplement stores, MMA gear stores. Everything is on this one street, which is really great. It's about an hour to go from Phuket Airport to this place, so just bear that in mind. We arrived at about, I guess, 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and we weren't actually told that the office was going to be closed, which was a little bit inconvenient. So we showed up, the guy dropped us off, handed our bags out, and then we went to go to the office, and it wasn't actually open. So the office hours are 8 till 8. It's all available on the website. We just assumed that they would have said something to us in the email, because we sent an email 2 days before just to confirm that everything was okay, and they didn't even say that to us. So we were kind of standing there for a little while, not really knowing what was going on. And then I managed to find a security guard who, I don't know what he was doing, but he had my name on a piece of paper. But unfortunately, even though we booked for 2 people, there was a bit of a hiccup, and they thought that it was just one person. So the guy who spoke very, very limited English thought that I was just staying there by myself, and then he didn't want to give us the room because my partner Laura was there, and he had been told it was for one person, which wasn't right because we had paid for 2. So that's something to bear in mind. If you're going to be checking in after office hours, definitely send Tiger a clear email about what's actually happening, and your party and all that sort of stuff, just because they have all the information, and it'll make your trip a lot smoother. So we got in there, the guy let us into the room, and to be a little bit honest, I was pretty disappointed with the rooms there. So I'd had a couple of people say to me, if you're going to go to Tiger, don't stay at Tiger, because there's a lot of better places out there. And after being there, then yeah, I agree. So a couple of people said it to me, but I thought, man, it should be fine. I looked on the website, viewed the videos, it looked okay, but it wasn't great. So it wasn't as advertised. There was no strong box. There was no DVD player. A lot of the stuff they said was going to be in the room wasn't actually there. Despite that, the room, the bathroom smelled really bad. Wasn't clean. The sheets had stains on them and holes. A lot of the windows, they had these little panel windows, and the windows are actually missing panels. So even though they had the bug screen on it, there's still a lot of noise coming in through the glass plates. So it was pretty hard to get sleep on that first night. So yeah, do not stay at Tiger unless you're really, really keen. Maybe you're a fighter and you don't give a shit about all that frilly stuff, and you just want to go there and train. And all you're going to use the room for is sleeping. Then it's probably fine. But for us, we got up on the next morning and we moved. So for the same price that we paid for a whole month at stayed at Tiger, so we paid for that first night, which was, I think it was like 1,000 baht or something like that. Really, really not a lot of money. And they transferred our money we'd already given them to this hotel down the road. 2-minute walk. There's hotels all down the street for fighters. It's dirt cheap. You're only 2 minutes away from the camp. We've got a swimming pool. We've got a clean bathroom. The room gets serviced. Everything is great. So if you're going to plan on staying there and you want a little bit of extra comfort for no extra money, then definitely go for one of the other places. We had a meal that first night as well at a place called Crazy Corner, which is just across the road from Tiger. So it's a little bit strange, but it seems like a lot of the restaurants here are obsessed with this whole reggae theme. So you'll be walking down the street and there's like pictures of Bob Marley and reggae music playing, and then you go in there and it's still Thai food, okay? But there's plenty of places along that first stretch where, you know, the food is pretty cheap, it's good, you know, it's clean, you're not gonna get sick or anything like that. So yeah, definitely check out that place. So yeah, day 2 came around, woke up, moved out to the different place, which was great. I went and picked up my gear package, which I prepaid at Tiger, so I paid for the MMA and Muay Thai deal for a month with the gear package, and the gear package was great. So I got 14-ounce gloves, I got MMA gloves, I got a couple of rash guards, shorts, mouth guard, shin guards, t-shirt. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there, and I mean, it is priced sort of like US standard, but for what you get, it's actually really, really good. And they ended up not having hand wraps for me, I think it was, that I ended up going and getting somewhere else. But when they don't have something that you're supposed to get, they actually upgrade you. So instead of hand wraps, I got another t-shirt. They didn't have the shin guards that I was supposed to get, so they gave me some more expensive ones, which was great. So the service in the gear shop in Tiger is really awesome. You know, the girls in there are really, really friendly. In the office, they're really friendly, really polite, totally want to help you out, which is great. You know, the service is awesome. The shop has everything you could need. There's supplements, there's clothes, all that sort of stuff. The only thing, one thing I will say is if you don't want to buy your stuff there, definitely walk up and down the road and see what's there. There's a fight shop just across the road. About 5 minutes down the road, there's a full-on supplement shop, and everything outside of Tiger will be cheaper. So the supplement store stuff's a lot cheaper. The place across the road, the fight shop stuff is cheaper. So I think just, you know, of course, it is a Western-focused sort of gym. They're looking for tourists, and they know they can get a little bit more money out of you. So, you know, that's just something to keep in mind. And I went to the weights room there because I'm pretty big on my weights, you know, do a little bit of like amateur bodybuilding kind of stuff, really structured. The weights room's pretty good. I mean, it's not amazing, it's not like a ton of machines or anything like that. It's totally air conditioned, so it's nice and cool. A lot of free weights, but I'm pretty sure there's everything there that you're gonna need if you're doing your weights, okay? If you're keeping up your strength training, you know, doing a lot of squats, deadlifts, bench, shoulder press, there's dumbbells, there's a couple of bikes, hack squat, leg press, all that sort of stuff. Everything you're gonna need is there, okay, to keep up with your weights. No treadmills though, so I mean, obviously if you want to go for a run, just do one of the classes or do the big Buddha run up to the Buddha, go for a run down the street. There's plenty of options for running. So where we are, we went out down to this big mall called Central Festival as well on the first day, so it's about 15 minutes down the road. If you want to get anywhere, you know, you can organise a taxi from where you are, fairly cheap. Just tell them where you want to go. When you get dropped off, you can say, pick me up again in an hour or something like that, and they'll totally be back there in an hour, which is great. We booked a scooter hire, so we did a whole scooter hire for a month. It's pretty crazy driving on the streets, okay? So it's not like in the Western countries where everyone's following the road rules, doing speeds and everything like that. So this place, like, you know, you're driving the moped, you're trying to keep to the left and everything like that, and people are pulling out, not indicating correctly. You know, it's totally fine as long as you're focused and you're keeping your wits about you, and you know, you're looking around, looking for obstacles, all that sort of stuff, and you know, because you don't want to fall off and obviously get injured and then not be able to train. So we went to this mall, 4 stories across 2 roads with an overbridge, heaps of stuff in there, okay, heaps and heaps of stuff. However, like most of the stuff we found in there, it's not cheap, okay? So all your living stuff here is cheap, like if food is cheap, water's really cheap, you know, like living expense cost stuff is quite cheap. But if you want to buy something, like you want to buy a pair of shoes, you want to buy a t-shirt, you want to expect to pay just as much at home, if not more, than you usually would. So definitely, it's not like great for shopping. So then after that, we went out and had some food at the Tiger Grill. So we also paid for the meal plan package there. So you pay it all up, and you get 2 meals a day and unlimited water refills. And like the unlimited water refills is definitely worth it. Okay, if you're willing to spend the money. Cause I mean, it's pretty hot here. Training hard, sweating a lot. You really got to keep your fluids up. The water is not expensive to buy. There's along the stretch where all the gyms are. There's a number of places called Family Mart, which is like a 24/7 convenience store, and I think we're paying sort of like 13 baht for a litre of water, which is pretty much nothing. It's about 50 New Zealand cents, and you get a whole litre of water. So that's that's not expensive, but getting the unlimited water at the Tiger Camp without having to walk out and buy a bottle anywhere is it's pretty good. Other than that, the meals there are good. You ask for your meal, you can get a fruit platter as well, which is just generally like a couple of pieces of watermelon, a couple of pieces of pineapple, which is really good on a hot day. The food is good. They have a breakfast menu, and then they switch over later in the day. So in the breakfast menu, you're getting things like eggs on toast, bacon, salmon. There's like porridge. There's a weight loss menu. So the food's pretty good, and most of it comes with this stuff that I'm not quite sure what it's called, but it sort of resembles like a sweet potato, like kumara, yam, that kind of thing. So they seem to put that with everything because I assume that it's quite cheap, but it's good. The meals later on, you get things like there's beef burger, chicken burger, steak, salmon fillet, tuna fillet, duck breast, salads, curry. It's a pretty big menu, and I think for what you pay, the meals are actually pretty good, and you're sort of guaranteeing that there's very minimal chance you're going to get sick or anything like that, and you can keep up with your training. And it's all good, healthy food, makes you feel better, keeps you training. It's pretty good. So after that, there's a few classes I've done over the last couple of days. So I've done BJJ in the gi, I've done BJJ no gi, and I've done an MMA class so far. BJJ in the gi was good. A little bit lower numbers than I like, but of course I totally wasn't expecting a large turnout. Being a Tiger Muay Thai camp and MMA camp, there's not a lot of guys that are doing the gi, and most of the guys that are doing Jiu-Jitsu, they're MMA guys, so they don't really care about doing the gi. But the class was good. There was about 10 people there, different sizes, different experience levels. The class was led by this American guy. I can't remember his name. It could have been Alex, I think. But really nice guy. Small guy, so really good for me. I fight at about 70 kilos. He was about, I think he said he was sort of like 63, 64. So little guy, showing a lot of technical stuff, which is really good. Nice clear instruction, key points, everything like that. Everything you want in a class. It was quite good. And basically, all the classes I've done seem to be broken down into the same structure. So whether it's hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is, it seems to be broken up into thirds. Okay, so your first third is like a warm up and drills. So your basics, sort of running around in a circle, stretching out, waving your arms around, side steps, knees up, that sort of thing. And then you break into your sort of traditional like forward rolls, backward rolls, hip escapes, as well as some other drills that I'm sure other people are doing in other gyms. And then maybe some positional partner drills, doing some inversions, basic sort of like switching from one side to the other when you're in guillotine, that sort of thing. So yeah, very, very usual stuff. So that's about the first third. Second third is sort of like technique and instruction. So for our gi class, we did about a third of it was X-guard. So we went over 3 different positions from the X-guard. A couple of standard ones, your standard wave at the back, technical stand-up, and then another sweep, which I hadn't seen before, which was pretty cool. That was good. And then the final third was just rolling. And yeah, a lot of people had said to me, oh, this guy's there, that's trying to smash you, and this guy's on steroids, and blah, blah, blah. I haven't encountered any of that at all in any of the classes I've done so far. I'm sure, there's going to be a first for everything, but so far I haven't had any of that. So the rolling was good, not super competitive or anything like that. Of course, if you want to be competitive, I guess you can. But no, it was good, and I found my skills sort of kept up. I wasn't way behind anyone else. good. The no-gi class that I did was good too. Way bigger numbers for the no-gi, so more like 20 plus, and I think they're all like that, you know, because there's a lot of the MMA guys in there. Uh, with the no-gi, of course, you know, there's a lot of different sort of stuff going on than what I'm used to. So rather than obeying sort of like IBJJF rules or just traditional rules of the dojo or whatever you want to call them, okay, there's not a lot of guys doing that because I guess they are MMA guys. So we did a little bit of light rolling, and I was finding guys were putting me in like can openers and neck cranks and that sort of thing to open my guard up, which was, you know, I mean, I wasn't used to it, but you know, you can get used to it pretty easily. Also things like leg locks, so I do straight foot lock quite often. I mean, I'm a blue belt, so I'm just sticking to what I'm allowed to do in competition. I know, you know, knee bar, toe hold, that sort of thing, heel hooks, but you know, I try not to use them, but yet guys totally try and put me in heel hooks, all that sort of stuff. But I mean, like with anything, if you get put on a heel hook and you are worried about it, then totally just tap. There's no massive, you don't have to prove anything, okay? So you know, you're just tapping, it's fine. You know, no-gi class was, I think it was 2 hours, so it was pretty full on. A lot of good drills, some nice rolling, that sort of stuff. Some really big guys too, like big guys, which was cool to watch. You know, watching the rolls was really great. The MMA class I actually showed up to by accident. So, you know, I like MMA, but I'm not, you know, an MMA fighter, and I don't really intend on even having an MMA match or anything like that. I simply showed up because they're supposed to have a couple of days of wrestling, which I'm going to today after this. But yeah, I showed up to the wrong one by accident, and they were doing just sort of like sparring, stand-up drills, which was really good. There was another American guy there, I think his name's George. Really friendly guy. Again, clear instruction, you know, make eye contact with you. Any problems, they're going to come over and help you. Really good instruction. Halfway through, we had Roger Huerta, former UFC fighter, come in, show us some stuff. Again, really nice guy, happy to help, really friendly, good eye contact, everything like that. Everything you want in a class was there. It was really good. Yeah, so overall, like, I've been pretty impressed with the classes, really happy to be here. Just been training 2 or 3 times a day, going as hard as I can, and then chilling out in the pool. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my first video blog. If you guys have any criticisms or anything like that, totally open to it, because I mean, this is the first time I've ever done a video blog. Totally tell me pointers or stuff that you want to hear, stuff that you don't want to hear. Ask me some questions. If you have questions, just post them down in the Reddit, and then I'll try and get back to you on the next one. You know, I'll answer all the main questions, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm over here in Phuket, living the dream. What more can I say? Totally happy. See you guys later.